Note: since the reinstatement of the death penalty in 1976, when the Supreme Court ruled that the death penalty did not violate the Eighth Amendment's prohibition against cruel and unusual punishment, 22 people have been executed for crimes committed while they were under the age of 18. All of the 22 executed individuals were males, and all were in states located in the South. 21 of them were age 17 when the crime occurred. 1. Sean Sellers, executed on February 4, 1999, in Oklahoma, was 16 years old when he murdered his mother, stepfather, and a store clerk, due to the slow process of appeals. Since 1976, none were actually under the age of 18 at the time of execution. The youngest at the time of execution was Steve Edward Roach, who was 23 at the time of execution. 1. Name: Sean Richard Sellers. Age: at offense, 16, at execution, 29. Date of execution: February 4, 1999. State: Oklahoma. Method: lethal injection. American serial killer, one of 22 persons in the United States since the reinstatement of the death penalty in 1976 to be executed for a crime committed while under the age of 18, and the only one to have been executed for a crime committed under the age of 17. 3. His case drew worldwide attention due to his age as well as his jailhouse conversion to Christianity, and his claim that demonic possession made him innocent of his crimes. 2. Name: Steve Edward Roach. Age: at offense, 17, at execution, 23. Date of execution: January 13, 2000. State: Virginia. Method: lethal injection. In April 1993, Steve Roach was convicted of the capital murder of Mary Ann Hughes. Hughes was found dead December 3, 1993, in the doorway of her home outside Stanardsville. After Hughes was killed, Roach, then 17 years old, fled south in her Buick Regal. 2 days after the slaying, a trooper in the South Carolina Highway Patrol pulled Roach over for speeding. Roach eluded arrest by running into nearby woods. He later talked to his aunt, who persuaded him to turn himself in. A Greene County jury sentenced Roach to death based, in part, on his threat to society. At 9:04 p.m. January 13th, Stephen Edward Roach became the 604th person executed in the United States since 1976. 3. Name: Age. J. Kelly Pinkerton. At offense, 17. At execution, 24. Date of execution: May 15, 1986. State: Texas. Method: lethal injection. J. Kelly Pinkerton, convicted of the mutilation, slaying of one woman and the murder of another. Pinkerton has received his second execution date for the rape, slaying of Sarah Doan Lawrence while burglarizing her home in Amarillo, Texas on October 26, 1979. He was also convicted of the murder of Sherry Welch in Amarillo. She was stabbed to death while working at a furniture store. Pinkerton was pronounced dead at 12:25 a.m. 4. Name: Toronto Marky Patterson. Age: at offense, 17. At execution, 24. Date of execution: August 28, 2002. State: Texas. Method: lethal injection. On June 6, 1995, Patterson drove his grandmother's car to Evelyn Stiff's home and visited with Kimberly Brewer, one of Evelyn's daughters. After chatting with Kimberly for about 15 minutes, Patterson went to physical therapy. Thereafter, Patterson returned to Evelyn's house and fatally shot Kimberly and her 2 children, 3-year-old Ollie and 6-year-old Jennifer. With a .38 revolver, Patterson shot Kimberly in the head as she relaxed on a living room recliner. 5. Name: James Terry Roach. Age: at offense, 17. At execution, 25. Date of execution: January 10, 1986. State: South Carolina. Method: electrocution. James Terry Roach was the second person to be executed by the state of South Carolina following the 1976 decision by the U.S. Supreme Court reauthorizing the use of capital punishment by the states. He was electrocuted on January 10, 1986, aged 25. nearly a year to the day following the electrocution of his accomplice, Joseph Carl Shaw, on January 11, 1985. At the Central Correctional Institution in Colombia, Roach was executed for a crime he committed at age 17. On December 13, 1977, upon the advice of his lawyer, Roach pled guilty to 2 counts of murder, criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, and robbery. He was convicted of the rape and murder of a 14-year-old girl and the murder of her 17-year-old boyfriend. 6. Name: Napoleon Beasley. Age: at offense, 17. At execution, 25. Date of execution: May 28, 2002. State: Texas. Method: lethal injection. Napoleon Beasley was an American convicted murderer, executed by lethal injection by the state of Texas for the murder of 63-year-old businessman John Luttig in 1994. Beasley, who was then 17, shot Luttig in the head twice in his garage on April 19, 1994, to steal his Mercedes-Benz. Beasley also shot at Luttig's wife, but missed. She survived the assault by playing dead. Beasley carried out the crime with 2 accomplices, Cedric and Donald Coleman, who later testified against him. Both were sentenced to 40 years in prison. 7. Name: T.J. Jones. Age: at offense, 17. At execution, 25. Date of execution: August 8, 2002. State: Texas. Method: lethal injection. Convicted in the robbery and murder of 75-year-old Willard Lewis Davis of Longview, Jones and 3 accomplices pulled Davis from his vehicle as he was backing out of the driveway from his home in an attempt to rob him. When Davis resisted, Jones shot him once in the head with a .357 Magnum pistol. Leaving his body in the roadway, the 4 bandits fled in Davis' vehicle. They were arrested a short time later after wrecking the car. All gave written confessions to police. 8. Name: Ruben Montoya Cantu. Age: at offense, 17. At execution, 26. Date of execution: August 24, 1993. State: Texas. Method: lethal injection. Ruben Montoya Cantu was an American murderer who was executed for a murder he committed when he was 17 years old. During the years following the conviction, the surviving victim, the co-defendant, the district attorney, and the jury forewoman made public statements that cast doubt on Cantu's guilty verdict. 9. Name: Dwayne Allen Wright. Age: at offense, 17. At execution, 26. Date of execution: October 14, 1998. State: Virginia. Method: lethal injection. Wright, 26, was 17 when he killed Saba Tekel outside her Annandale apartment. He had killed 2 other people earlier in the week. Dwayne Allen Wright was executed by injection at the Greensville Correctional Center. A few hours after Gov. Jim Gilmore denied his request for clemency. 10. Name: Douglas Christopher Thomas. Age: at offense, 17. At execution, 26. Date of execution: January 10, 2000. State: Virginia. Method: lethal injection. Thomas had been dating 14-year-old Jessica Wiseman, the daughter of Kathy and J.B. They pressured Jessica to break up the relationship with Thomas. However, Jessica was unwilling to do so. She became angry with her parents and stated that she wished they were removed from her life. Thomas stated that he had smoked some marijuana on his way over to the Wiseman house and carried with him a shotgun. He said Jessica helped him in the window and they then arranged some drugs on the floor to make it appear to be an attempted robbery. Thomas then went down the hall to the Wisemans' bedroom and shot them as they slept. Thomas said Mrs. Wiseman did not die from the first shooting, and Jessica implored Thomas to shoot her again. He did, killing her instantly. Jessica was tried as a juvenile and was released when she turned 21.